Rwanda Development Board and World Intellectual Property Organization have organized an Intellectual Property Week in Rwanda, happening from June 24th to the 28th. Now, one of the many things to be discussed is emphasis on highlighting the relevance of the IP awareness in increasing the competitiveness of small and medium enterprises. Professor Tom Ogada joins us for more. Thank you so much for creating time to speak to us. Now, I understand that you're from Kenya. Could you start by telling us how the outlook of the Kenyan IP is?
Well, I think Kenya has made tremendous progress in the area of intellectual property. We had actually a similar workshop last week in Kenya, where we brought together several universities and also SMEs, and we took them through very key issues around intellectual property. We exposed them to the legal framework that is in place today, including the intellectual property legislation 2001, and several other things that are happening. But the main focus was actually on how universities can take advantage of intellectual property as a way of enhancing the transfer of knowledge that is generated in the university to the society for the purpose of using knowledge to support economic development of the country. And that is the same message that we have brought here in Rwanda. The last 2 days, we had meetings with over 20 universities and research organizations. And we were agreeing that really Rwanda is already doing quite a lot in terms of creating a conducive environment for innovation. And that there is need, therefore, now for universities also to come up and strengthen that capacity of ensuring that the knowledge that they generate can actually be used to support the development agenda of Rwanda. And we're looking specifically at basic things that needs to be put in place, more so intellectual property policy that will govern several issues that can then make it possible for actually the university dons to actively interact with the private sector and ensure that the knowledge that they are generating can be used to support SMEs.
Yes, and now you've also touched on universities, but now when we look at local businesses here on the ground, do you think that they are aware of their property rights?
Yes, I think the level of awareness is still very low. In fact, that is why we are very keen to ensure that we have more of such seminars to create adequate awareness so that they can slowly but sure start recognizing the importance of intellectual property asset for their competitiveness, the competitiveness of the various businesses that they are undertaking. For instance, they need to prioritize trademarks, which is really very, very important. If you go to a shop and you want to buy a product, you look at actually a brand that you can recognize, and trademark would then therefore support the small and medium scale enterprises to really help promote the sales of their product, and also to help recognize their products when the products are in the market. But more importantly, Rwanda being like any other African country, there is a lot of focus on the informal sector. And I will tell you, there is a lot of activities, innovative activities that are going on there. Quite a number of products they are coming up with. Unfortunately, these products, they don't have names. They can't be recognized. They are not branded. The quality is wanting. And that is why, apart from then the trademark, we are also sensitizing them on the need to promote technology as a tool for enhancing the quality of their products. Yeah.
You've touched on technology, and now we are in a digital era. How can someone go ahead and protect their products from technology, from the social media, where
yes,
everyone is constantly
and that's again why intellectual property becomes really very, very important, because then if you protect it either in the form of trademark, either or in the form of copyright, if it is a software, and really our young people are coming up with very, very useful software applications that needs to be protected, because that is the only way that they can be guaranteed some income.
Yes.
From their creativity.
Yes, and I'd actually like to know, you're from Kenya. When
yes.
we speak of the intellectual property in Kenya,
yes.
does it apply also beyond the borders? Like if I'm here in Rwanda,
yes,
how does
yes,
it go about that?
And that's a very good question. Intellectual property is protected both nationally, territorially, regionally, and also internationally. So a business person decides whether you want to protect it only in Rwanda, or because you see market opportunity in several countries of Africa, then you go for regional protection. And if you are very sure that your product can also access international market and you want to protect it there, then there is also opportunity to protect it internationally.
Yes, and when we look at institutions, how
yes.
best can they commercialize their products?
That's a very, very huge discussions now, because we are slowly telling institutions that please move away from the focus on publication and ensure that any technology, any product that you generate should be commercialized and taken to the market. And one of the reasons for this workshop was really to tell them about two things. One, the various approaches on how it can be commercialized, but two, which type of structures you need to put in place to really support that commercialization. Because you'll remember that universities are service-oriented. They have a totally different missions and objectives, and compared to industries that are profit-oriented. And because of that difference in objectives, you find that there is a gap. And therefore, you need some special structures that can support that linkages and interaction.
Yes,
and those are some of the things that we are telling them. I'm glad, for instance, that the University of Rwanda has put in place a technology transfer office and incubation facility, for instance, to support such interactions. And we are saying the other universities can also be able to consider putting some of those structures in place.
Yes. Now, before I let you go, we say we have the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. Yes, we have integration that is actually taking place. We are advocating for movement of goods, for free trade. But now, where do we draw the line?
In fact, it is complementary, because for that free movement of goods from one country to another, the owner of intellectual property is better served if then you ensure that your product, be it trademark, for instance, is also protected in those other countries, so that then any product that is sold there, you are able to get a return from it.
Yes.